Alright, topic of today's video, the Glock Model 26. Is this Glock's ultimate do-all handgun? Let's talk about that. So you can put the standard 10-round magazine into it, get a flush fit, or you can put the 10-rounder with the +2 base pad on it, get a fit where you can have a full grip on it and 2 more rounds. And this is what I carry as the backup. It's a 15-rounder from the Glock 19. It fits and you get a full grip. Now there are a couple companies that make little adapters to where, you know, you're not just hanging on to bare magazine there. I don't have one of those since this is just a backup mag, not the primary magazine I carry in this gun. And things get really bad, you got the 33 rounders. They also fit, and they're a heck of a lot of fun to shoot out here at the range. This one is a Glock Factory Mag, and I've went over this one before. It's the SGM Tactical. Also works. Now I don't know about others, but for me specifically, I've probably put over 800 to 900 rounds through this gun using this magazine, just for testing, and never had a failure with it. I like it. So let's put some shots on target, and we'll talk about more that you can do with this little gun here. Alright, like I said, 10-rounder flush fit. This is the one I usually have in the gun if I'm carrying it. I usually carry this one in the winter nowadays, and the 43 in the summer. We'll talk more about that here in a second. Got my steel target down here. Let's see how accurate I can be with this gun. About 15 yards. I do have the XS big dot sights. I really like these sights. They're fast, easy to acquire, and they just work. 10-rounder works. Let's try the 10 with the +2 base pad. Now, I've not shot a whole lot with this. It feels a little funky to me because you get the full grip, but there's nothing back here. Your palm's kind of just hanging out there. And it works. And it does still use the stock spring, and you get 2 more rounds. And the 15-rounder. These normally go in the Glock 19. Fits in there just fine. Let's see how it works. Works just fine, as I suspected it would. Now pretend in your mind that this 15-round magazine is just slightly longer. That is the magazine from the Glock 17, and it would also work in this. And the Big Daddy, the 33 rounder. Well, I could almost stand here all day and do that, because you got 33 rounds plus 1 in the chamber here. But for the purposes of the video, we'll cut it right there. And that just goes to show that that is why I think that this is Glock's most versatile handgun, and that is why I sold the 19 that I had to buy this one. When I originally got my carry permit and was going to get a carry gun, I researched everything. Glock, Smith & Wesson, Springfield, Ruger, everybody. And I finally settled on Glock after going to the store and handling them all, because unlike a lot of people, I like the finger grooves in the Glock, and this is a Gen 3, as you can tell by the mag release there. I like the finger grooves. When I tried it out, it just fit perfectly. Even without any kind of extension, I can still get half of my pinky on the bottom there. And it just felt like a glove to me. And it's what I shot most accurately out of all those. Rented a few, tried them out. I just liked it. Plus, you can't argue about that aftermarket support for Glock pistols. And the slide, pretty easy to manipulate. And although you can get aftermarket triggers for these, I do like this stock trigger that's on this gun. I've put quite a few rounds through it, probably at least 1,500 to 2,000. And the trigger is nice and broken in. When you do get that take up there, when you hit that wall, fairly crisp for a striker fired gun. For me, this fit the bill for carry gun, home defense, and just coming out here and plinking. And if I wanted to, there are competitions for these size of guns if you wanted to shoot. Like Junk Food Zombie uses his SR9C, which is essentially the Ruger equivalent of this, but with just a whole lot more unnecessary safety features on it, like thumb safety, this giant flag that sticks up right here to let you know there's a round in the chamber, magazine disconnect, and there's probably 10 or 15 more safeties on it that I'm not aware of. Great gun, very nice shooting gun, great trigger, but it's just not what I wanted in a carry gun, home defense gun, come out here at the range, plink around gun. Plus, you can't argue with that. When I come back from the day, put this up in the closet for home defense and my little safe in there. That's the magazine that goes in it. Well, this is the magazine that goes in it. This one just has full metal jackets in it right now. Like I said, I sold my 19 to get this one. And I'll probably get another 19 again, because you just gotta have a 19 in your collection and to shoot. When I originally got my carry permit, even before I got it, I bought the gun. I did carry it for a little while, and I just found that the 19 was a little too big for me personally. I just didn't like how far the grip stuck out. I mean, it was a great gun. I hated to sell it, but money was kind of short at the time, and I wanted this one, so I had to come up with the money somehow. So that's why I got this. Nice, short little, compact gun. They hadn't come out with the 43 yet, and I don't think Smith & Wesson had even come out with the Shield yet. I had one of those. That was also a great gun, but I hated the trigger on it. I got this, and it gives me the 10 round, and also the original capability of the 19 that I had, and a 15 round, plus these. So when I bought the 19, I was not as experienced in guns as I am now, and went in to a local gun store, and they sold me a 19. I told them I wanted a 26, being a gun store genius, as I like to call him. Told the guy I wanted a 26. I had done my research. He said, "Oh, you don't want that gun. That's a puny gun. You need a 19." Well, he originally tried to sell me a 1911. This was a 1911 guy. I was like, maybe later, but for right now, I want a Glock 9mm for carry. I bought the 19 after he talked me into it. I shot it, then realized, too big for me for carry. That's when I sold it and stayed out of the local gun store. Ordered this one from ClassicFirearms.com. Great price on it, better price than I could have got it in the local gun store. I just had it transferred to my local dealer, and I've been loving it ever since. And I can be pretty accurate with it, with just the short barrel, short sight radius, big dot sights. I have no problem whatsoever depending on this gun for my life, or just to hit the target. Now on to the 43 and why it is my main carry gun these days. I love the 26, but as you can see, it's still pretty wide compared to the 43. It doesn't look that much wider. They're essentially the same size, but it carries much wider. And this is about the smallest gun I would want to carry. The Glock 42, Ruger LCP, those are nice guns, but this is about the smallest 9mm I would want to carry because I can still shoot it pretty well. As you are probably aware, I carry both of these guns in G-code incog holsters. It's the one for my 26. I've found that these holsters carry the best for me. I've tried the regular Kydex, I've tried the ones with the leather and half Kydex shell, but I like these because I can can it how I want. It's got this velvet stuff on it, so I can, it'll stay put. Now I do modify these a little bit. If you're familiar with these, the incog holster has another clip right here, and that's mainly for like appendix carry if you want to do that, or even 4 o'clock side of the waistband carry. I find that this pretty much centers the weight of the gun and what carries best for me. And this is mainly my summer carry gun, or if I'm wearing a tighter fitting shirt and don't want to print. Sometimes I don't care to print. It's Tennessee, you can open carry if you want. Let's take a few shots with this, see how this shoots. Now since it is a smaller gun, it is a little bit more harsh on the recoil, especially after shooting the 26. I can definitely tell it, but it's still very controllable. It's just a 9mm. And this is a great little gun. I have modified the trigger a little bit. I did put a 3.5 pound Ghost connector in it. It is by no means 3.5 pound trigger. It feels more like the weight of this trigger, but not as crisp. Considering this is not really my come out to the range plinking gun, I do practice with it, but it's not one I just bring out here for pleasure because it is so small. And if you watch Glock Guy 226, he really has me wanting one of those agency arms triggers to go in here one day. So there you have it. That is why, in a nutshell, I think that the Glock 26 is Glock's most perfect do-all pistol. You got home defense, self-defense out in public, carry, and competition, target, plinking. What else would you need this gun to do that it cannot do? I'm sure there's something somebody can think of out there, but as a general rule, it'll do it all. Thanks for watching.